Hey everybody, it looks like we have some long overdue balance changes incoming. Look out! Incoming! And these balance changes, as I said, have been long overdue apparently, and what they concern themselves with is the concealment mod for more battleships. The Kid gets defensive AA Fire, Nagato gets buffed, Azuma gets buffed, several Italian battleships get buffed, Italian premium cruisers get semi-armor-piercing shells as a test, and the big one here is the Veemer moves up a tier. All that in a couple of months, so it's not going to happen immediately, but it will be coming eventually. So let's check it out. This is what it's all about. And here they're saying that they haven't had balance changes in a hot minute, and the set you're about to see is only to be introduced in a couple of months. Okay, so it's not something that's imminent, and it looks like when you read down here, there might be time to alter some of this. Apparently, they're going to take comments, I believe. So knowing that these changes are fairly dramatic, they wanted to tell everybody in advance. So buckle up, sunshine. Before getting to particular ships, there's news for high-tier battleship owners. A concealment mod will now be available for all Tier 6 to Legendary tier battleships. We don't expect the meta to shift much, but perhaps you'll come up with more creative builds, and, you know, who knows? Starting light, we have an extra consumable. So first up is an extra consumable for the Kid. It is defensive AA Fire. And the Kid is the one ship that I have gotten the Clear Sky medal, so I'm not really sure that they needed a buff in defensive AA Fire, but okay, enough of my editorializing. Let's continue. Which can be used in place of the engine boost. So, as I said, the Kid already has extensive AA Fire. I'm not sure I would want to replace that with the engine boost, but that will be an option apparently. And the number of aircraft carriers at higher tiers is slowly growing, and the Kid is one of the ships that may benefit significantly from such a consumable. Okay, I guess I don't want to argue with that, since, as I said previously, the Kid was the only ship I've been able to get a Clear Sky medal with, so good for them to do that. And then moving on to Nagato. The ever-controversial Japanese battleship that deleted enemies with one salvo and missed entirely with the next started to show some cracks in her potential. We're addressing it indirectly by boosting her damage per minute numbers, namely, she gets 29 seconds of main gun reload down from 32 seconds, as well as an armor-piercing shell maximum damage boosted up to 12,600, which is up from 12,100. This may actually look more effective than it actually is, but we're sure the ship should now fall in line better with her immediate rivals. All right. Staying with Japan, there's a ship that unfortunately didn't quite live up to our hopes in more ways than one, and that is Azuma. And yeah, you know, my experience is the Azuma is really a cruiser that wanted to be a battleship. So let's see what they've got here. They're giving her the deluxe treatment, 7.5% better shell grouping, 24-second main gun reload down from 26, so that is a buff. HE shell damage boosted up to 5,100, which is 600 more than it was before, and armor piercing damage up to 8,650, which is 500 more than it was. However, as these buffs are quite significant, they're also making her armor-piercing shells start ricocheting at a 45-degree angle down from 50 that they used to have. So that's a little bit of a nerf right there, but overall I'd say the Azuma is getting a pretty big buff. And then they're continuing with the battleships, and here come the Italians. And the Conte di Cavar, the Cavar's main gun reload improves to 27 seconds from the normal 30 seconds, and so does this stat for her big sister, Andrea Doria. The top dog, Vittorio Veneto, receives a quicker gun reload as well. 31 seconds instead of 34, and I think the 34 is a default number, so the commander will change that, as well as some of the upgrade options in the ship itself. But all right, so 31 seconds instead of 34, so when you get done with all your upgrades, it should be down significantly more. I don't remember that the Vittorio Veneto was a 34-second reload after everything was configured, so I think this number is before everything is configured with the commander and the ship upgrades. And here comes the Roma. They didn't forget the Roma, and while she isn't losing to anyone significantly, a small overhaul was due. The Roma gets some of the Vittorio Veneto perks, including high explosive shells with maximum damage of 5,800 instead of 5,100, as well as her smoke generator in the 3rd slot. And the plane and enhanced secondary targeting consumable are moving to the 4th slots. All right, well, I think a lot of Roma owners were hoping that some of the options in the Vittorio Veneto would make it over to the Roma, and this is a start with the smoke generator. I think it would be nice to have semi-armor piercing shells on the Roma, which I don't think the Roma currently has. Maybe it didn't in real life. So the overarching theme for the Italian battleships is that they wanted them to dish out a bit more damage, as their other vitals look quite healthy. I guess the obvious thing for everybody is if they really wanted to help out the Italian battleship performance, they would release an accuracy build commander for the Italian battleships, a historical accuracy build commander, but it doesn't seem like that's happening now, so let's continue. And it doesn't stop there for the Regina Marina, and this is perhaps the best slice of pizza pie so far. We're ready to begin the semi-armor piercing public test of sorts by adding semi-armor piercing modules to the following premium cruisers: the Gorzia, the Duke of Aosta, Genoa, and the Duke of Abruzzi. As they have no experience with semi-armor piercing shell main batteries, so these are main battery semi-armor piercing modules, not secondaries. Very nice. We have the right to tweak these shells either way. The modules with semi-armor piercing shells are optional and replace the high explosive shells when installed, so you'll still have a choice between semi-armor piercing and armor piercing armament. So it's either going to be semi-armor piercing or high explosive. That's very interesting. And then finally, the last item here is probably the biggest whopper for quite a few people, I would imagine, and it is the most controversial. There's going to be a big-time controversy here about this next item, and it is the infamous Veemer, and it's going to tear up. It's true that the cruiser turned out to be significantly stronger than we imagined she would, and while she started going down in her win rate and damage numbers due to players adapting to her, it seems there is no way around the need to cull her power. And that is exactly why they removed it from the store. I always thought that that was kind of like a panic moment. Somehow, if a game manufacturer could be panicked, that would be one. That was my take on it anyway. It's like they couldn't remove it fast enough, and here, apparently that wasn't good enough. They're going to continue to knock it down a little bit. So let's continue. As it stands, she fits nearly perfectly at Tier 7, and the only thing to change would be her economics. Understandably, I guess, you will have questions and comments about whether you can exchange this ship. And we will reveal our strategy for dealing with any Veemers that become unwanted as we move closer to the fact. Obviously, if she is suddenly too weak at her new tier, we'll be ready to apply the good old buffing wax, as this isn't something we've ever done before. Thanks for reading. Happy theory crafting, and turn the tide. Holy cow. So the Veemer is going to be a big time deal, I think, because that ship was a premium ship that you looked at and bought at the store. It's like going to a car dealership and buying a car because you liked its options and where it fits into just basically everything. So here you're buying a Tier 6 cruiser, the Veemer, because it has these qualities that you think are outstanding, and then next thing you know, they're having a recall, and now the Veemer is going to get nerfed big time. They're going to change the category that it's in, and oh boy, this is, I don't see that this is really all that great. And yeah, now I thought, okay, so here on the Discord announcement, it says, Legends, we have a balance post ready for your viewing. It features important changes to ships like Azuma, Italian battleships, semi-armor piercing debut, and the Veemer. Read carefully and let us know what you think. So they're looking for feedback apparently, and this should be your opportunity to let them know what you think. You can do that by posting on Discord or one of the social media outlets like Reddit, Facebook, and I'm sure that's probably blowing up big time right now. You can leave a comment down below, but I'm not sure how much visibility that will get. But yeah, so there you go. And apparently they do want you to let them know what you think of all this. So I'm letting them know by producing this video. You can let them know by contacting them through whatever social media outlet you think is most appropriate for you. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you like it.